Hello to my fellow YouTubers, this is Christian Madrid here on Madrid Videos, and next up I got another movie review for y'all, and today we are going to be reviewing Avengers Endgame. Have it in my own collection, you know, the highest grossing movie of all time, and definitely one of the best movies of 2019. Great movie, man. I'm pretty sure most of y'all have seen it, but if you haven't, go check it out, and there will be spoilers alert, so be alert. Spoiler alert! So there's gonna be spoilers. So if you guys watched my last movie review, you know, in this video I will be doing what I don't like about the movie first, then what I did like about it, and then why I recommend it for you, and then I'll give my overall rating on a scale of 1 to 10, so stay tuned for the video. Okay, so here's what I didn't like about Avengers Endgame. It's not that many things, very few, but they're important what I didn't like about it. Okay, so first of all, it only had Nick Fury in a few scenes, and he's one of my favorite Marvel characters, played by one of my favorite actors, Samuel L. Jackson, and he only gets like one scene at the funeral. Man, I wish he would have been at least one or two more, like the happier scenes, because, man, he is like one of the leaders of the Avengers, and he needed to be in more. But second of all, is, you know, all the people dying, you know, like Iron Man and Black Widow. Man, very sad. That's what I didn't like. You know, I get why it had to happen. You know, Iron Man sacrificed himself, but it was just very sad. It's just very sad. And then even Thanos died. You know, I even shed a little tear when Thanos died, because, you know, Thanos, he was by far the greatest villain in Marvel history. And he only got like 2 or 3 movie roles, you know, out of it, you know. Only 2 or 3 movies. You know, it's just sad, you know. And I doubt that Marvel will come up with another villain as good or even better than Thanos. You know, no way in hell. You know, like in Infinity War, Thanos won in Infinity War, you know. The snap and half the world went bye-bye. You know, I kind of wish, you know, maybe there would have been maybe a little bit more of a plot twist. Maybe Thanos at the end would have been like, snap again, you know, and then that would have led to another Avengers, you know. That would have been pretty fucking cool. And then they could have brought back, you know, Black Widow and Iron Man in the next one, but oh well, I get it. You know, it's just sad. And then also the very last scene, you know, the ending again, man, I can't believe it. They ended it with Captain America. He went back in time to be with his girlfriend. You know, that's sweet, but like that's just not realistic. Like, come on, man. I get it, it's a Marvel movie, most of the movie ain't realistic anyways, but come on, man. Time traveling back and then you're sitting as an old man, like, why would you want to kill yourself like that? Come on, we lost Iron Man, Black Widow, and then we lose Captain America too. Like, come on, man. Marvel, do you guys want to make more money? Do you guys want to make more money? Like, come on. Like, now the top guys are Thor and Hulk, you know, they're good too, but Iron Man, Captain America were just better, you know. Maybe not in power and strength, but in movie ability, man. And then the last thing I ever, you know, like, which is not too big of a deal, is like Thor getting fat. Like, come on. It was funny, don't get me wrong, but come on. Fat and an alcoholic just playing Fortnite all day? Like, come on, man. Fortnite, one of the worst games in history. Like, why? Like, at least make Thor, like, you know, play Call of Duty, and maybe, you know, like a juice alcoholic, you know, like on the beach, you know, scoring chicks all day, but not like, come on, like, not an alcoholic playing Fortnite, no chicks around. Like, come on, man. So that's what I didn't like, and here we go to what I did like about the movie. Okay, now, so what I do like about Avengers Endgame, like, I love the acting. The acting is great, and the movie's got an ensemble cast. Lots of great actors. Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Don Cheadle, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Paul Rudd, and the list just goes on and on and on, man. On and on and on. And Josh Brolin, you know, there's on and on. Chris Pratt. Shit, there's a lot of great actors and a lot of known actors in this movie. The acting is just great. The directing, you know, the visual effects, the sound effects is great in this movie. The action It's like non-stop action pretty much most of the movie, and the storylines, you know, how they all connect and how they went back in time to the other Avengers movies, like the first Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and how they went back in time was just so great and well done, and the story just came together. You know, the story was the best part, and also the emotional effect of this movie was so good. The emotional effect, how most people that watched it were crying in tears when Iron Man and Black Widow, they died. Most people in tears, and the movie did a great job, that emotional effect, and get into our emotions like very few movies have done. And I did mention it is the highest grossing movie, and for that reason, and it's just a great movie in a great way. You know, if they never made a Marvel movie, Avengers movie, I think I'd be okay with it, because this movie was just great. It was definitely my favorite Marvel movie, and you know, if they never did, I'd be okay with it, because this was the best. Save the best for last. That's what they say, you know. But hopefully in the future they do make more Marvel, because I'm not the biggest Marvel fan. I am a fan of Marvel. I'm not the biggest, you know. I know people who are the biggest. Like in my family, like my brother, my dad, my cousins, they are big time Marvel fans. And I'm pretty sure they're dying for a new one. And I hope there is a new one, but hopefully. But if they were to call it quits, you know, never make a Marvel movie, I think I'd be okay, because we've got the best, I believe, of these movies and the acting and everything. And it just, these 3 hours are worth it. They fly by like that. It doesn't even feel like 3 hours, and this movie does a great job of that. Now let's go to why I recommend it. Before I forget, on a scale of 1 to 10, before I get to the why I recommend it, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this movie. Of course I want to give it a 10 out of 10, because I don't believe in a perfect movie, but I would give it a 9 out of 10. You know, a 9 out of 10 is fair. You know, this is a really good movie. Like I said, great storytelling, great action, just great all around. I give it a 9 out of 10. So that is my rating for this movie. Now let's go to why I recommend it.
That's not good.
Why I recommend it. Well, if you're a fan of Marvel, then first of all, then you should definitely watch this, because it combines mostly all the Marvel movies together. But if you haven't seen, like, there's very important Marvel movies you have to see before you see this, obviously. Like, you have to see the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You have to see all the Avengers movies, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. You gotta watch Thor, especially Ragnarok. And Captain Marvel, you know, you gotta watch all those before you get to this. There's a few, you know, that you can skip. Like, you can skip the Incredible Hulk if you want. That movie was alright. You can skip that if you want. And, you know, you can even skip Ant-Man. You know, I skipped Ant-Man. You know, the second one. The first one's pretty good, but I skipped the second one. You know, that's, you know, not too important, you know. I heard it was good, but I don't know. And Doctor Strange, that's a very important one, you know, to watch before, you know. You know, Doctor Strange, great character too. Probably the smartest of them, you know. And it's just got, like, all these characters, like Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Iron Man, all the Avengers, Spider-Man even. You know, it's got all these characters in one movie, you know, like no other movie before. And that's why I recommend it, you know. And this movie is for all ages, I believe, you know. Maybe, you know, maybe for a 5 or 6 year old, maybe a little bit too much action. I don't know. Maybe. But I would be okay if I was a parent, because, you know, there's no sex in it at all, you know. You know, it would have been cool if Johansson would have got down with Hulk, you know, Black Widow and Hulk. You know, that would have been cool and funny. But I'm glad they didn't decide to put any of the sexual stuff, you know, so kids can watch it too, you know. The violence is just action, you know. It's like CGI, you know. It's not like blood and gory violence, you know. It's more like pew pew violence, and there's not really that much language, you know. There's some funny comments, you know. Maybe like the worst is like maybe bitch or like hell or damn or ass. That might be the worst, but you know, I think this movie should be viewed by everybody. You know, have a great time watching it. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video. You know, I hope y'all enjoyed these movie reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe to Madrid Videos. Tell your family and friends. And I'll see you next time here on Madrid Videos. Let's get it, yo!